Awesome. Hey, everyone. Yay. Let's see. We are live on the Facebook group and just waiting for you guys to come on. Awesome. If you're here, say hi, Candace. Let me know if you can see, hear me, all the good things. I'm gonna wait a little bit until Facebook notifies everyone. Awesome. Yay. If you're here, say hi, Candace. Hey, Alex. All right. Well, hope your day is going well. Hope you are hydrating from the heat. I know you're down in Florida. I've been watching videos, well, mainly Disney videos, for Disney World, and it's talking about how hot it is, and they're like, "Oh, it's 90 degrees," and I'm like, "Oh, that's nice. 110? Hello, like over here in California, we have the dry heat. You guys have the moist heat, so I can totally understand that heat definitely can hug you. So kind of hard to breathe down there, but yeah. Yeah, let me get my slides together. Yeah, disgusting. Yeah, I really don't know like how um you guys do it. I could definitely go down there and visit, but which I would love to do one day. That's my goal. But to live, I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. I told my mom we should go down there. The houses is less expensive than over here, but there's a lot you have to deal with when you go down there to Florida. The humidity, and yeah, I don't know if I can handle it. I handled the Hawaii humidity very well. It actually was awesome air. Helped me so much with my sinuses. I was able to breathe better out there. So I don't know. Humidity might just be my jam. So, but yeah, out here in California, we get all the allergies. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. Let me share my screen. Let me bring this over here. Share screen. Let me share this one. Awesome. Okay. So, day 3. We're in the middle of the challenge. I'm really excited about this. And this is going to be a great day because we're going to talk about SEO and keywords, which is very important. This is something that I didn't do in the beginning, and I wish I had. Definitely revamp my podcast so it can be more searchable. But I'm going to show you guys what to do so you guys don't make the same mistakes I did. Okay. But really quick, let me know what your aha moments was. Hi, Lisa. Let me know what your aha moments was on yesterday. What were your takeaways? Um, Let me know about the homework. If you did the homework, if you didn't do the homework, where you stuck at, because we could go along in this challenge, but I definitely need to know if you guys are getting stuck, if you guys are having questions, so that I will know. Because I want you guys to have success. Have the tools that you need to launch your podcast. So, and this part is the foundation, and I want to make sure that you guys have the foundation pieces. So, definitely let me know in the comments what your takeaways were. Okay. So, just to recap, on day one, we discover how to get clear on your podcast goals before you launch. What is the goal? What's the purpose? And the reason for you starting a podcast. Okay, so we talked about that on day one. On day two was unlock your audience conversations so you can seamlessly craft podcast content that will have your ideal audience, ideal listeners. Sorry about that. Tune in every week. So we searched in Facebook groups to discover our audience conversations, questions, and struggles. Okay, so we did that on yesterday. Okay, some hello moments. I want to point out Abigail. She had a hello moment. Just do it. Why have I been waiting too long? And that's where a lot of people get stuck on, because I think the thing of it is we listen to other podcasts, uh, whether it be, who we follow or gurus or whoever. We like, oh my gosh, they have it all together, when it's like, well, they have a team. They have a whole team behind them doing their podcast content, editing. All they have to do is plan their content, record, and then they hand it off, and they doing their own thing. Which you could get to that point when you're ready. But right now, us solopreneurs, we have to wear all the hats, and we have to do this ourselves. So, so I try to make it easy for the solopreneur who has wearing all the hats in their business and they don't have help. So I try to make it as simple as possible. Okay. So let me know what some of your takeaways were. Awesome. So day three, decide on a podcast topic and description that resonates and address your audience needs to help build your authority. Okay. So when you did your homework on yesterday, you had 10 questions. Go back to the workbook. Remember, the workbook is in the file section. If you signed up via email, you will have got it's in your daily emails that I sent out. The link is in the email. So you list 10 questions from Facebook groups. It could be different ones, it could be public, it could be private. However, if you're already in a group based on your niche, totally fine. 10 questions, and I showed you guys how to pull those questions out. Yesterday we had looked into a breast cancer group for Alex, and we were able to pull out like 3 different podcast topics, episodes that she could use in her for her podcast. And those can be her first couple of episodes, or you can add it on to your existing podcast, however you want to do it. Okay. So you list out 10 questions you find on Facebook. Okay. So we're actually going to do something with those. Use what people are asking the most in your niche and turn it into a name that is fire. And I'm going to show you some examples. So what you're going to do is you're going to list out your findings from yesterday and look for trends in the questions and see if any keywords jump out at you. Okay. This exercise is a long game because you can refine and you can refine your podcast over time. So what your podcast is today, it could change and be better over time once you get into this, and once you find out and talking to your ideal customer avatar or your ideal listener, whomever, you will evolve over time. Your podcast will do so. Okay. So keywords: SEO. Search the top rated podcasts to find common keywords for SEO to add to your name and podcast. This is very important in your podcast description. A good podcast topic should have searchable keywords. Okay. And we're going to dive into this. I'm going to share my screen so we can actually do this in real time. Okay. So examples. I'm pretty sure most of you or some of you already know these names that's listed. So the top names, and I've actually listened to each one of their podcasts. So Amy Porterfield has Online Marketing Made Easy. John Lee Dumas, which is JLD, he has Entrepreneurs on Fire. Jenna Kutcher has the Gold Digger podcast. Russell Brunson have Marketing Secrets. I should say Marketing Secrets podcast. And Sue McLaren has Marketing Your Business podcast. Okay. What jumps out at you the most? So, Amy Porterfield, marketing. Probably could get away with online as well. That could be a keyword, but definitely marketing. JLD has entrepreneurs. Jenna Kutcher, goal. And she added podcast in there as well. So people who searching, I need to plan my goals. I need to refine my goals. Her podcast, I'm almost certain 100% will pop up as the top rated podcast. Russell Brunson, Marketing Secrets. His keyword, marketing. When people search how to market my business, his podcast will come up. Okay. Stu McLaren, marketing and business. So I'm working in my business or I'm struggling with my business. I'm sure his podcast will pop up because guess what? He has business in his podcast. So not only will podcasts pop up, but also podcast episodes as well. And I'm going to show you how that looks. Okay. Everyone with me. Everyone with me. Awesome. Abigail, take away. Coming up with topics for 10 episodes uh does seem to be too hard. Very doable with your approach. Oh, it doesn't seem to be too hard. Very doable with your approach. Yes. So the first 10 is definitely can be your first 10 episodes. The if you're like, well, I'm only launching with 8 episodes, use those first 8 episodes for your launch and then add, the other 2 for when you're getting ready to do your next batch. Okay, not too hard. Okay, yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, it's hard. I don't want to make it too hard for you guys. So yes, not too hard. Thank you so much. Awesome. Okay, so here's a note, and I tell every time I do every time I do a challenge, I tell everyone, be careful of the terminology that you use because the real people, and I'm a real person, are not searching for those terms. If you're in the medical space, be careful of the terms that you use because not people are not searching for that. In Google search, yes, podcasts do come up. And I'll show you what that looks like. Podcasts do come up in the search engine. So it is very important to have your terminology kind of cater to people who are actually searching for it. So sit in the chair, sit in the chair of your ideal listener and kind of say, okay, so what are they searching for? And be real about it. Like, for instance, people are not searching for how to launch a podcast. No. They're not searching the launch word, a lot of people are not using. They're using how to start a podcast. What tech do I need? So when I'm doing my keyword search, I'm like, okay, what are people searching for? What are people asking? And there's another way that you could do it. I usually teach it, but for time's sake, I'm not going to dive into it. Maybe I'll dive into it when we do our live Q&A. And I will show you guys another way to actually another way to search for questions within the search engines of what people are asking or what people are searching in Google search. Okay. So a lot of searching. All right. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go to Spotify. So let me go ahead and stop sharing this part. Or I'm going to go to Spotify right now. And then I'm going to share my screen. Someone's going to pop up. While that's thinking, What other questions do you guys have? Go ahead and pop it in the chat. And oh, I was frozen there for a minute. Okay, share screen, window. Okay, I want to share this one. Awesome. Okay. So this is Spotify. A lot of people use Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Okay. When you go on Spotify, you can start, there's music and then there's podcasts as well. There's also audiobooks. Okay. So you can search all or just narrow it down to just podcasts. Okay. So I'm going to go to the search engine here. And what I would like someone in the chat to tell me their niche. I'm just going to use one keyword. Just give me one keyword of what title or your niche that you are, what your podcast is going to be about, what niche, who you serve. And we're just going to do a one keyword search. Okay. So let me know in the chat. Creativity. Yes. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Creativity. Creativity. And let's go to podcasts and shows. Okay. All right. This is really good. This is really good. Okay, so the top ones that pop up is Creativity Squared, okay, by Helen Todd. And then you have Creativity and the Captivity. Ooh, interesting. And then you have Creative Pep Talk. And then the Spark Creative Teachers Podcast. Ooh, Abigail. This is really good. I like this. This is awesome. Let's see. What's this one? Seam Work Radio. Oh, Sims. Like sewing. Sewing. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. Let's see. The Artist's Way, a spiritual path to high creativity. Okay. And then She Creativity. Okay. Oh, awesome. I like these. I definitely like these. I would say click on each one of these and see what their podcast is all about. Because some of them could be about um, art creativity. It could be different. There's different types and different forms of creativity. So I would say click on one of these podcasts to see if they are aligned with what your overall niche is. This one is how creatives are collaborating with AI. That's very intriguing. Lisa says first period. Oh, okay. Let's see. I didn't. Abigail said I didn't even know there was a Artist Way podcast. Going to check that out. See, yeah, definitely look into this. This is your search engine. This is a search engine. This is your hub. Spotify. You can go in and dig out some really gold nuggets from other people. Now, the cool thing about this is you have the podcasts and shows, but guess what else pops up with the word creativity? That is the episode itself. So when people are searching for creativity, here are some suggested podcasts, but also here are some suggested podcast episodes with that word in it. Okay. So we have, let's see, Rick Rubin, The Secret to Your Most Authentic Expression, Creativity with Flow Like Crazy. Who's this? Rick Rubin, How to Access Your Creativity. That's a really good episode, Abigail. You should definitely write that down. The Science of Creative and How to Enhance Creative Innovation. This Hubert man looks like he definitely talks about that a lot. I would say check out his podcast as well. Jumpstart Creativity. For this, jumpstarting creativity, I would say how to jumpstart your creativity. Kind of, put the how to in there because some people might be searching for how to do something. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's go to an actual. Okay, relaxing guide meditation to stimulate creativity. Oh, that's another one. Um, definitely add on there because that will definitely help. Because I'm a creative person, and sometimes I just need to sit for a moment to get that creativity out of me. Maybe a walk or something like that. That helps as well, kind of like getting my brain going. Um, but you can say you can use this in so many different ways. And let me see. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Guide to meditation for creativity. How to be more creative. Like it. Meditation to boost creativity. Powerful visualization. So check these out. Check out their podcast. Okay. Check out these shows as well. You could click show all if you don't want to look at the episodes and see other people podcasts regarding creativity. So this one is Hacking Creativity. Let's see. The Creative Boom. Let's see. The Creative Endeavor. Interesting. And this one, the Professional Creative Podcast. Oh, I like it. I love it so much. Okay. All right, awesome. Do anyone else have a specific keyword that you guys want me to search based on your niche? Um, Alex, we could do. I want to do one for Alex. Let's see. I know there's so many podcasts on breast cancer. Yes, I was going to do that. I'm way ahead of you. Okay, breast cancer podcasts and shows. Okay, so you definitely want to add breast cancer in your topic. Okay, definitely want to put that in there because that's a keyword right there. So we have here the breast cancer podcast. This is a doctor. And then we have breastcancer.org. And then we have which one is this? Breast Cancer Conqueror podcast. Ooh, I really like this in the colors. This person is also a doctor as well, upfront about breast cancer. And look at these covers as well. Like, okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you all. I can spot 3 or more of these podcast covers that came from Canva, and this is one of them. And the reason why I say that is because I used the same microphone first started. I used the same microphone from Canva when I first started. That was my podcast cover. So like you could definitely do this on Canva. It's so amazing because I know this is a Canva one and I can definitely tell this is a Canva cover. So you don't have to be clear about your podcast cover, just get that cover up. Okay. Let's say keeping abreast with Dr. Jean. Because we use breasts. I don't think that's one. Let's see. Better than before breast cancer. Oh, this one. Check this one out. Alex, definitely check this one out. Let's click on this one. I want to dive into I want to see the description. Let's talk about hot flashes. Where's the description? Okay, here we go. Okay, so Laura is a certified life health nutrition coach and wellness professional. She is a two-time breast cancer survivor living with metastatic disease. Metastatic disease. I think that's what that is. Laura supports women in dropping in their warrior shield for diagnosis and treatment of breast cancer so they can release the pressure to go back to normal and create a life that's better than before breast cancer. These twice weekly episodes give you tools you can apply to your life today to support your body and your mind as you manage life after breast cancer. This is really good. It's very informative. They say she stated who she is, what her journey was, what she's doing to help people. So, what the podcast is going to be about, her mission, her journey, what she hoped to, what she hoped to help other people. And then she states how many times her episodes go out. So it's twice weekly episodes, give you tools you can apply to your life today. So I like that. And it's in like kind of like a 4-part section. So this is actually a really good podcast description. I really like that. All right, let's go back here. Let's check out these episodes as well. Let's see. Alex said, I'm going to go into that one. Yes, go into that one and listen. Listen to her podcast. I think that's a really good one. All right, so episodes with breast cancer as the title. So here's okay. Oh, she does do breast cancer. Interesting. So the keeping abreast with Dr. Jen, she actually talks about breast cancer as well. The 5 things everyone with breast cancer need to know. That's good. That's good. I probably will put the number 5 on there instead of the word. So, but that's still good. Um, Oncology, breast cancer. Okay, so someone who's a doctor might be looking for this, or in the medical field might be talking about oncology. Um, that's probably will be targeted for someone who actually knows where everybody knows the word, but the thing of it is, I will prefer just putting out breast cancer because everybody's so familiar with it. So um, I wouldn't use that. You wouldn't use medical terms unless they're targeting maybe doctors or something about somebody in the medical field. That's perfectly fine. Let's see, hormone replacement therapy and the Women's Health Initiative, re examining the results, the link to breast cancer, and weighing the risk versus reward. That is a very long title. You can chop that up into maybe 4 episodes. That's a very long title. Um, let's see, breast cancer, how to catch, treat, survive breast cancer. Oh, that must be a guest on there. So, mom breast cancer and the test that saved her life. Ooh, I like that one. I definitely like that one. Let's see. Let's find something. Estrogen and breast cancer, a contemporary perspective, early detection. So these are all good. So when you have your podcast title, I would definitely insert the breast cancer because people searching for that. Um, your episodes and your podcast will pop up. Okay, it'll pop up in Google search as well. So I'm gonna do one more, and I think we had uh menstruation. Let's do menstruation. Can I spell it? Did I spell it right? Let's see. Menstruation podcast. Okay. All righty. Let's see. Someone had. Would you use this information to help you craft your? Yes, I would. This is another source as well. See what everybody else is doing, and kind of recreate the podcast, your podcast topic as well. This is another source. So many different ways. Okay. So menstruation. So here's some process came up. Are you menstrual? Okay. Menstruation matters. Let's see. The holistic women's health. Holistic women's health. Okay. And then we have Flow, the podcast about menstruation. The Menstruation Matters podcast. Is someone people have menstruation matters on here. Um, this one's just menstruation. Let's see. Metabolism, metabolism, and menopause. I'm searching metabolism, but I am searching menopause podcast. So this one can actually go either way. Who knows the term, and then someone who's just like a regular person who's not really clear on the term, because a lot of people are not clear on what that is unless their doctor told them. But this was a smart move. Like who was searching for this term, and then searching someone who's searching menopause. I think that was a smart move, definitely. The titles are not attractive. Yeah, they're not because you're using menstruation. So let's see. Period. Okay, let's see. Period podcasts, period chats, period podcasts. Oh, okay. Happily hormonal. 28-ish days later. I like this. Hope Scope on Spotify. Let's see. Hormones. If you put that in there, everybody know about that. Like my hormones are off balance or something like that. You put that in there. You put a period in there as well. Let's see. Let's see. The period party. Girl talk gone minstrel. Oh, I like that one. Lisa, you should listen to this one, the period party. That's catchy. I like that one. Let's see what her podcast is about. How many episodes? She has 334 episodes. You go, girl. She has 59 ratings, averaging 4.9. So that's really good. Okay, about. Okay, so the period party hosted by Nicole Jaredin is what happens when you get the world's leading women's health expert, unscripted, uncentered, and on the air, thinking of it as girl talk gone minstrel. She got high ratings. I probably put a little bit more in there. Maybe okay, so she has period and she has menstrual in there. So I would take that. And she said who she is. I don't know how many episodes she do. Do she do daily or weekly episodes? I'm not exactly sure. So definitely add that in there. Okay. And then you could go in here, Lisa, and see what exactly she's talking about. Like there's one here, how to successfully recover from hysterectomy. That's very important. Let's see. The Fix Your Period Collective is here. Interesting. So you will scroll through here and get some ideas. Podcasts, what people are talking about, and then kind of just like flip it and recreate it and make it more you. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's see if there's some more episodes. I like the period party. Which one's a woman's guide to healthy periods and hormones. Period TikToks for moon cycle. Okay. Sorry, I wasn't home sooner. Interesting. Okay. TikToks, period routines. Holistic radio. How I got my period back natural after losing it for 10 years. Game changer. This is a good one because how many people are struggling with this? I like this one. Okay. Definitely check this one out too, Lisa. Okay. All right. So very cool. Yes, yes. So you have to keep digging in to see, because there's some really good podcasts out there. You just kind of like have to dig in, um, and use that keyword, see who's talking about what, see who podcast is, hot, how many reviews they have, look at their podcast description, make sure your keywords is in the description, and don't forget to tell people how many episodes is going to be. Is it going to be weekly? Is it a season? Is it going to be twice in a week? So let them know. There is so much out there. It is so much out there. It is. And the key to this and people finding your podcast is, number one, being on a lot of distribution channels. So definitely whichever platform you're going to be using. So I teach Buzzsprouts because Buzzsprouts have like 13, 14 different distribution channels. There are other platforms that does the normal Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but Buzzsprout does the YouTube podcast as well. So I'm like, I'm going to stay there. But distribution is key. Marketing is key as well. If you have guests, definitely the key thing is for them to actually share the episode. So when I do my guest form, I make sure that I say, okay, I want your name, bio, all that. And towards the bottom, you have to say, are you going to promote this? Because I can tell who promotes the podcast and who don't based on the number of downloads. Right now, I have this. Let's see. I forgot her name. I have to go to it because maybe you guys can listen to it. Let's see. I'm going to my stats because she has the most downloads. Aha. Here it is. Episode 121 is my top podcast. There's one that I did myself that is still hovering over 500 downloads. But how to enroll people in your vision with Julia Snyder. Snyder. So her episode is the top rated podcast episode for guests that I have, and it's been that way for months. And you know why? Because she promoted the episode. That's how you drive traffic, especially when you have guests. You make sure that they, that they're promoting it. What I'm going to do different this time is I'm going to say, okay, when you promote it on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, tag me. Then that way I'll know that you actually did it, because it's like, come on now, Let's see. I'm going to use Spotify Podcast Studio because of the integration with Riverside. Yes, you can do that. The podcast for podcasters. Oh no, I'm sorry. Spotify Podcaster. They do integrate with Riverside. So yes, definitely do that one. They do not have YouTube podcast as a distribution if you're going to use that. If you would like to use that. But yeah, and plus it's free. The Spotify Podcaster is free because they took over Anchor.fm, which was terribly hurt by that. Candace, is a guest form available? No, I don't have a guest form. I created my own based on the questions that I wanted to ask those who are coming on my podcast. So my questions may be different from what you're asking. I always ask, what are the top, what are your topics? 3 topics if you want to put 3 different topics. What is the topic? And then the 3 takeaways that the listeners can take away from that topic. Because guess what? I don't like writing show notes. I don't use that information. I copy and paste and I put it in my show notes. I'll tweak it a little bit. But now I'm starting to actually use scripts and have them write the show notes for me, and then I just tweak it, copy and paste. That's it and done. But the easiest way, make them fill out form, their bio, everything, copy and paste it, and put it on there, and that's the show notes there. Let's see. Yes, I was going with the free and easy. Free and easy is good. Like I stated before, I just added the training on um, how to get started with Spotify for podcasters because I understand so much that budget is very important. So I actually have added that lesson in for Overwhelmed on Air, the course that I have. I was teaching Buzzsprout, which there is a monthly fee for it, simply because they have a lot of distribution channels. But I realize that people want to start this off with as very very low cost as possible. So yeah, free and easy. I love it. All right, so I'm going to switch over here. Oh, you know what, you guys? I want to show you the Google search. That's what I want to do. Um, okay, so let's see. Period podcasts. Or let's say podcasts about period. Podcasts about period. Okay, so when people are searching on Google as well, not just Spotify, they're searching on Google as well. Um, Podcasts about a certain topic. So don't think don't think it's just going to be like on Spotify or Apple. It's going to be there too. But I just want to show you that it's also a Google search engine as well. So here are some results here. So if you see over here where it says see results about, and then they list out the podcast based on periods or menstrual cycles. Okay. Let's see. Let's scroll down. So they list some different podcasts about it as well. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Yeah. So podcast and menstrual cycle, stigma and mental health. And it says the episode description. So it's on Google search as well. So it's just not just in one place that people are just searching on Spotify. They're also on Google searching the topics of what they want to listen to, maybe particular episodes. So that's the reason why I say keyword is important because it's in the search engines also. um Lisa, you already have it. If you want to look in it today, you can go ahead and do so. I was going to tell you during our last session about it, but it's already there for you. So you can just go ahead and log into your members area and you go ahead and search for it. I mean, it's right there for you. All right, so here's a tip. Be sure keywords are in your podcast description. We went over that. I went over that with you, how important that is, so that your podcast can definitely be in the top search or at least be a part of the search. That's very important. Okay. So take action. It's time to name your podcast. Don't worry, you can change this later. So in your workbook, you have a day 3. Let's see. Oh, you have a day 3. Here we go. So day 3 is 5 top common question themes. So you're going to look for, out of the 10 that you've listed, you're going to look for some themes that's going on in the 10 questions that you listed from the activity that we did on yesterday. Okay. 5 top rated podcasts in your niche. You're going to list those keywords. And then from there, if you don't have a podcast topic, you can definitely write out the name or title. Do that based on the keywords and the searches that we did for your podcast. And in your podcast description, you go ahead and write that on there as well. Make sure you have your keywords in there. Okay. And and then write your podcast description. So you can, this will, I'm getting you guys ready to launch. So you have your, today you're supposed to be working on your keywords, your name and your description, writing out your description. Okay. It's starting to get real. It really is. Reminders, day 4. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about outlining and planning the first episode for your podcast. And we're going to add AI into the mix. So I'm going to do a little bit of ChatGTP at the end. Definitely come for that, because I'm going to be asking you, okay, what do you want me to ask ChatGTP? What topic that you have. So I really want you to do the homework, because I'm going to ask you what question or what topic that you want me to plug in there, and we're going to go ahead and plan out your episode. I'm going to do that in real time. I haven't done it before, but I'm going to do that in real time for one of you guys. Okay. And then remember, engage, ask questions, do the homework. You know, if you're doing the homework by yourself and you don't want to post, it's perfectly fine. Just put a thumbs up in the homework thread. Then that way I'll know that you are working on it. If you don't want to post it, it's totally fine. Alrighty. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Stop sharing screen. Yay. And I'm on. Get rid of this. Let's bring this over here. Perfect. All right. What questions do you guys have? Any questions from today? So excited. Yay, Abigail. So excited. I will make my August 20th launch date now. Yes, do it. Do it. Because now you have the foundation. Now you just need to do the plan, prepare, and promote. Those are the 3 P's in my 5-part framework. Okay. You feel more confident already? Oh, yes. Oh, thank you. Yay. I'm so excited for you. I get so excited when you guys are excited. So thank you so much. I really try to make this as simple as possible. And I'm like, what do everyone need? So it's definitely this part, getting started. On day 5, we're going to briefly go over tech and what tech to use. We already talked about just use your phone. You could definitely do so. Play it back, make sure everything is clear, and you can drop it either in a Dropbox or Google Drive and then upload it. Okay, so we're going to talk about what tech to use. I highly recommend using some form of earbuds. They don't have to be these fancy earbuds that I have here, because they hot in my ear. I don't know how people use these. I really don't. This is not my jam, especially wireless. Um, I don't know. This kind of sound like I'm in a car or something. That's what happens when you go to Five Below and get these. But these are so hot in my ear. You don't have to spend a ton of money on no earphones. Please do not go and go get any Beats earphones or anything like that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just use the plain old. I'm still trying to figure. Okay, here we go. I'm old school. So I use these. I use these when I'm recording. Use these when I'm recording on my phone, while I'm in the closet doing a podcast. If I'm in my car doing a podcast, I'm using these. Okay, that's it, just to cancel out the noise. When I do record here in my office, I'm using the headset. I'm using those that I showed you guys, and I'm using my Blue. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, you guys. I have too many cords. Too many of them. Can I lift it up? Okay. Ta-da! I'm using my Blue Yeti. This is all I need. And to cancel out the noise, just some earbuds. That's it. This is my best friend here. This makes me so clear. It makes everything so clear. But don't spend $149 on that mic right now. Okay. I'm going to show you some mics that's less expensive. Don't do that right now. It's not the time. Um, okay, you guys lost me. Yeah, yeah. That's what happens when you have too many chords and everything and you're mute and all the fun things. Okay. Awesome. Any more questions before we wrap up? Say more about canceling out the noise. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to give me one moment. Stable is on my Wi-Fi. Give me one moment. The Wi-Fi connection is acting weird. Okay, there we go. Back on. I'm gonna go dive deep into this on day 5, but use the earphones because they actually cancel out the background noise. The background noise. So right now, I can hear in the hallway. Probably you guys probably can't hear it, but I can hear in the hallway. My mom in the hallway, the lawnmower, the dog barking because I don't have my earbuds. I can't find the ones that I normally use, but I don't have my earbuds in my ears to actually plug into my computer to cancel out the noise because my microphone is capturing everything. And then also the speakers in my computer or your laptop is actually grabbing the noise as well. So that's the reason why it's very good to just have the earphones on, just so you can plug it into your computer, and then it's not capturing all the noise. It's just capturing just your voice. Okay. I can plug in my earbuds into my mic and just use just my mic as the one receiving my voice and doing the output as well in my ears. However, it's very studio sound. Like it's legit, it's very well, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to kind of it feels weird to me. So that's why I like to plug it into my computer and then just use this as the mic. Um, that's just me. The gurus probably would tell you you need to use that. No, let's not go there. All right. So got it, makes sense. Yes. Yes. And the same way with your phone. Same way when you're recording on your phones, use earbuds so you can cancel out the noise. Is very helpful. It does, especially when you have a dog and they're barking in the background. It will completely cancel it out. And how I can confirm this is I asked several people when I'm doing my podcast interview, hey, can you guys hear the air conditioning that's going on? It's really loud over here. I can't hear anything. I said, okay, good. And so that's why it's very important. All right. Any more questions before we wrap up? This one was a long one, I know. Any more questions? My Wi-Fi keep going in and out, so probably telling me Candace, stop talking. Um, there are more. Scroll back. There are more questions. Scroll back. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. I see you guys. All right. Yeah, work on it already. Okay, so Alex, you said I have 3 podcasts I have done in Anchor, and now I need to do Canva. How can I attach it and have the name? So you have 3 podcasts. You have 3 podcast episodes, or you have 3 podcasts, actual podcasts that you've done. I have done an Anchor. Okay, I think you probably just had 3 podcast episodes. And now I need to do Canva. How can I attach it and have the name? So you need to do Canva to create your cover art, um, or Canva for each episode. So if you do Canva for each episode, you go into Canva. They have some templates for you that you can actually create. I would say do not create 3 different type of graphics. Use one main graphic as your template. And for your episodes, if you want to post it on social media, use one main graphic and just change the name and the episode number and just use that since it's just used as a solo. Now, there's two that you want to do, especially if you're going to be having guests. So you want to have one where it's just a solo episode for you, create that template, and then you want to have another where it's a guest. So create that template for that, and you want to definitely have your guest picture. You can have your picture on there. um Not saying not to do this, but it kind of annoys me a little bit when people have guests and they have a really small picture of their guests and they got this big huge picture of them. I'm like, you're not highlighting you, you're highlighting your guests. So your picture needs to be a little bit smaller. If you want to play that game, your picture needs to be a little bit smaller than the guest, or have it equally on there as your special guest. You have the size of the image of your guest or your picture of you on there, but never have your picture bigger than the guest. So I'm like, oh, it's about you. My eyes are going directly to you and not the little picture that you have about your guest. So, or don't do it at all, because I know some of you may follow me on social media, but when I post a guest on that was featured on my podcast, I just have just that guest picture, the episode, their name at the top corner of my logo that I have, and then the name of the podcast episode and the number, and then you can go to hellosalesdorsey.buzzsprouse.com to listen. So that's it. Um, let's see. Okay. So Abigail said, I have a question about graphics for episodes. Do you need new graphics for each episode? I just answered that. No, you don't. Just one template. That's all you need. And just keep it simple. Let's see. I answered that one. Okay, thanks. Any more questions that I missed? Let's see. Oh, well, not completely free because I'm paying for Riverside, but totally worth for the AI feature. It writes your show notes for you. That's cool. That is definitely cool. Yeah, yeah. Descripts do that as well. So I teach that also. Um, all in one. You just export it, and they are actually connected with the different channels. I don't think Riverside is one of them that you can export directly into. They have different partners that you can export directly into after you're done with your episode. So that's the reason why I teach just these scripts, because you can pretty much do everything all in one, everything, and then just boop, everything's done. Awesome. All right. Perfect. I hope I didn't miss any more questions. Let me scroll up a little bit more. Okay, I answered that one. Perfect. Awesome. All right. We went an hour. It's supposed to be 45 minutes. That's okay because you guys have some good questions. Keep the questions coming. I can answer them. If you're watching the replay, click hashtag replay. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up this day. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will post the take action homework into the group. And if you've done it, just give me a thumbs up on the thread. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to post it. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I thank you guys for hanging in there this whole hour. Bye.